Hi viewers, Purple Celery here. Welcome back to my channel. It's a new year, a new decade and a new series of Doctor Who. It's the 2nd of January 2020 here in Australia. Like many others, I had to go back to work today after the Christmas break. But what kept me going was knowing that I had a new episode of Doctor Who to look forward to tonight. So without further ado, let's get straight into this review. This is Spyfall Part 1. So Spyfall basically sees Doctor Who doing James Bond. It kicks off when secret agents all around the world are being attacked by some mysterious being and their DNA is essentially being rewritten, and the head of MI6C gets the Doctor and the fam to investigate. Now, I thought this was a pretty good episode overall. I especially liked how we got to see a little bit more of the companions' home lives. We saw Yaz having to negotiate time off work with her boss. I also liked how the episode set up maybe like a bit of a love triangle between Yaz and Yaz's sister and Ryan, because Yaz's sister wanted Ryan's number and Ryan seemed a bit keen to go out with Yaz's sister as well. I also loved how Graham was being given the all clear by his doctor. Hopefully that's a good sign of things to come for him. I also felt like the Doctor was kind of coming into her own too. We really got to see her engaging, goofy, lovable personality come to the forefront. Now, before I go on, I do have to talk about one thing, and that is the Australian setting. Now, I'm saying Australian setting in quotation marks like this because I could tell pretty much straight away that it wasn't actually Australia, and I think I heard somewhere that they filmed this episode in South Africa. But like my partner and I were watching this episode, and like as soon as we saw the trees surrounding the house, we pretty much turned to each other and said, that doesn't really look like Australia to us. And the two Aussie cops, I mean, their accents I guess were passable, but every so often you could tell that their South African accent just slipped through a little bit. Having said that though, the Aussie accent is a pretty hard one to emulate, so you know they did a pretty good job. I suspect that unless you were actually Australian, you probably couldn't tell that they were in fact South African and not Aussie actors. Overall, I really loved though how part of the story was set in Australia. Not many Doctor Who stories have been. In fact, I think the only one, to my knowledge, has been that brief scene in the pilot in Series 10 where Capaldi's Doctor takes Bill to Sydney and pretends that there's a shark attack going on. So yeah, it was great to see the Doctor in Australia for once. I thought the pacing was quite good in this episode. It packed a lot in, but without feeling too overwhelming. I thought the episode got a little bit silly towards the end when the Doctor and the companions were chasing after I can't think of his name right now. Barton on their motorbikes, and they basically hopped aboard his plane when they were chasing after it, like on the runway. But I guess that does reflect the slightly silly and over the top mood of the James Bond movie. So you know, I'm not going to mark it too down for that. Now I am going to talk about the major reveal. So this is going to be a spoiler. If you haven't seen this episode and you don't want to know this big spoiler, you might want to look away now. In 3, 2, 1. So, I did not see it coming that the Doctor's spy friend O was in fact the Master. That was like a huge surprise to me, and well done to the BBC for keeping it under wraps. I really liked how the character of O changed a lot towards the end. Like he sort of became more sharper, more devilish, more funny and more evil. So I thought that was really nicely done. I do wonder though where O comes in relation to John Sims and Michelle Gomez's Masters, or Missy maybe I should say. Whether he comes after those incarnations or before. And I'm saying this because when we last saw the Master or Missy, it kind of felt like the Doctor, the 12th Doctor that is, has kind of gotten through to her, and that she'd sort of, you know, changed her ways, and she was slowly becoming like a more kinder and less evil person. But it sounds like O's Master has kind of reverted back to being the straightforward evil master of old. So I just thought that was quite interesting, and like I do wonder how that is going to play out, because the O Master, as I'm going to call him from now on, did seem to harbour like a lot of venom and malice towards Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in Spyfall Part 2. I do wonder too exactly where the Doctor has ended up, and where Yaz ended up briefly as well. It almost seems, and this is just my theory, that like maybe what the Master or the monsters are doing in this case is actually shrinking people and putting them, I don't know, I mean, like where they were almost looked to be like human hair, like amongst giant strands of human hair. So my theory is that they've been shrunk and they're somewhere very hairy, but you know, I know that's like quite a ridiculous theory, but I guess we'll see how that pans out in a few days' time. I was also intrigued by the Master's line. I think it was something like, everything you know has been a lie, and I'm really keen to find out exactly what has been a lie, and whether the Doctor has been misled in some way. Overall, I thought this was a strong start to Series 12, and yeah, I've been, I guess, pleasantly surprised so far as to how this episode has panned out. So I'd probably give it like, you know, 7.5 out of 10, let's say. But these are just my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions and theories for Spyfall Part 2. So please leave any comments in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already. But otherwise, that is it from me for now. This is Purple Celery over and out. Thank you so much, as always, for watching.